ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Osmoregulation. Osmoregulation. What is the meaning of the osmoregulation? Means maintenance of the constant salt and water levels in the body. Maintenance of the constant water and salt level in the body is said to be as the osmoregulation. Definitely, whenever the water levels in the body are maintained constant, then body fluids volume is also maintained constant. To maintain the homeostasis, definitely osmoregulation must be taken place. So definitely, what is the meaning of the homeostasis? Maintenance of constant water level, constant salt level, constant body temperature is collectively called as the homeostasis. Of them, first two steps means maintenance of the constant water and salt level is said to be as the osmoregulation. Definitely, osmoregulation means maintenance of the constant water and salt level in the body to maintain the constant body fluids volume, to maintain the homeostasis is said to be as the osmoregulation. Then in the osmoregulation, what are the structures which are useful in our body? Means one is the kidneys, second one is the skin. Definitely these two structures principally useful to achieve the osmoregulation, to maintain the constant water and salt level in our body, to maintain the homeostasis. What are the structures which are useful? Means one is the kidney and the second one is the skin. In addition to them, what are the hormones which are useful for osmoregulation? Means what are the hormones which also involve in achieving of osmoregulation? Means ADH or vasopressin. Why it is called as the vasopressin? Because of due to the vasoconstrictor nature. Vasoconstrictor nature, it is said to be as the vasopressin. Vasoconstriction means if the diameter of the blood vessel is decreases, diameter of the blood vessel if it is decreases, then that is said to be as the vasoconstriction. If the blood vessel diameter is decreases, then that is said to be as the vasoconstriction. Means ADH always induces contraction of the smooth muscle in wall of blood vessel. By that way, this diameter of the blood vessel is decreases. That is said to be as the vasoconstriction. Due to that, this is said to be as the vasopressin. That is the ADH. Second hormone which is involved in osmoregulation is aldosterone. Is the second hormone which is involved in the osmoregulation. Third one is the angiotensin 2. Second one is said to be as the angiotensin 2. This is also strong. vasoconstrictor substance. Definitely, angiotensin 2 also strong vasoconstrictor substance. So, what are the hormones which may be involving in maintenance of the osmoregulation means ADH or vasopressin, that is the vasoconstrictor, aldosterone, angiotensin 2. This is also very strong vasoconstrictor substance. These are principally useful for the osmoregulation in the case of the human. Next to kidney function regulation. Next one is the regulation of kidney function. Kidney functioning. Next continuation topic is regulation of the kidney functioning. What are the structures which principally useful to regulate the kidney functioning means three type of these structures are principally useful to regulate the kidney functioning in our body. What are the three type of these structures which may be regulate the kidney functioning means? One is hypothalamus. Second one is the juxtaglomerular apparatus. Third one is the heart. Definitely these three type of the structures always regulate kidney functioning. They are responsible to maintain the constant glomerular filtration rate. So to continuously form the 125 ml of primary urine per minute in both kidneys, these three type of the structures are responsible. To maintain the constant GFR, to maintain the constant glomerular filtration rate, these three type of the structures regulate the kidney functioning. So of that, first one is said to be as the hypothalamus, second one is the juxtaglomerular apparatus, third one is the heart. Of that, first one is said to be as the hypothalamus. What is the hypothalamus means? Just assume this is the brain of the person. In the case of the brain, this is the diencephalon. This is the diencephalon. This is the diencephalon. This is the floor of the diencephalon. This is the floor of the diencephalon. This floor is said to be as the hypothalamus. This floor is said to be as the hypothalamus. How this kind of the hypothalamus? This is responsible to maintain the constant body temperature. So that only hypothalamus is also called as the thermostat of body. Hypothalamus is also called as the thermostat of body because that maintain the constant body temperature. Definitely whenever in the person's body, whenever in the person's blood water levels are decreases, definitely immediately means in the blood of the person water levels if they decreases, volume of the blood is decreases totally. Definitely 5 liters of the blood have to be maintained constant. If in the case water levels are decreases in the blood of the person, automatically volume of the blood is decreases to 4.5 liters from 5 liters. If volume of the blood is decreases, amount of the blood which have to be supplied to the glomerulus is also decreases. Amount of the blood which have to be supplied to the both kidneys per minute, that is 1100 to 1200 ml, is decreases to 700 or 800 ml only. During that what happened? Glomerular filtration rate is decreases. Glomerular filtration rate is decreases. Instead of 125 ml, that primary urine formation may be decreases to 100 ml only. So that only, whenever in the person's blood water levels are decreases, whenever in the person's body water levels are decreases, immediately the receptors which are present in the hypothalamus, they are said to be as the osmoreceptors. Definitely in the case of the hypothalamus, osmoreceptors are present. This osmoreceptors immediately recognize, detect this lowering water levels in the person's body. Whenever in the body of the person water levels are decreases, immediately osmoreceptors which are present in the hypothalamus recognize that. Immediately they send the information to the hypothalamus. Immediately they pass the message to the hypothalamus. Immediately they send the message to the hypothalamus. Immediately hypothalamus secrete ADH hormone, that is the antidiuretic hormone. What is the meaning of the anti? Opposes. Diuresis means over excretion of urine. Excretion of the over volume of the urine is said to be as the diuresis. Definitely, what is the meaning of the diuresis? What is the meaning of the diuresis? Means excretion of over volume of urine is said to be as the diuresis. Definitely this ADHR, antidiuretic hormone, always prevent the excess excretion of the urine, excretion of the over volume of the urine. So that only this is said to be as the antidiuretic hormone. Definitely this, whenever in the person's body water levels are gets decreases, definitely osmoreceptors which are present in the hypothalamus are activated. Immediately they send the information to the hypothalamus. Immediately hypothalamus secrete ADH, or the antidiuretic hormone. Then this ADH immediately induces absorption of 19% of water from DCT and CD. Definitely, in the presence of the ADH from the DCT, 9% of the water is reabsorbed from primary urine into blood. From the collecting duct, 10% of the water is reabsorbed from the primary urine into the blood. Totally that is 19%. So definitely this ADHR, antidiuretic hormone, immediately reaches to DCT and CD. Immediately that induces reabsorption of 9% of the water from the primary urine into the blood through the DCT wall, and 10% of the water reabsorption from primary urine into the blood through the collecting duct. Overall, 19% of the water reabsorption is taken place into the blood from the primary urine through the DCT and CD. By that way, during every urine micturition, during every urine excretion, 19% of the water from the primary urine is reabsorbed into the blood in the presence of the ADH. As a result of this, water levels in the person's body is returned back to normal. Means definitely whenever the water levels are decreases in the body of the person, if this body water is gets lost through the urine, definitely in the body of the person severe dehydration condition is gets created. So that only to prevent that, this osmoreceptors immediately detect that. Osmoreceptors immediately detect this decreased water levels in the body of the person. Immediately they send the information to the hypothalamus. Immediately hypothalamus secrete the ADH or antidiuretic hormone. Immediately ADH induces reabsorption of water from the primary urine. Means about 19% of the water reabsorption is taken place in the presence of the ADH from the primary urine through the DCT and the CD wall into the blood. During every time urination, if 19% of the water from the primary urine is reaches to the blood, is reabsorbed into blood, then in the blood water levels may be raises towards the normal. Otherwise, if in the blood of the person excess water is present, if in the blood of the person, if in the body of the person, if water levels are decreases, this mechanism is operated. Instead of that, if in the blood of the person or in the body of the person excess water if it is present, then osmoreceptors switched off. Definitely whenever the excess water is present in the body of the person, then this osmoreceptors becomes non-functional. Osmoreceptors only becomes active whenever water levels are decreases in the person's body. Instead of that, if water levels are excess, definitely this osmoreceptors becomes non-functional, they becomes inactive, that is said to be as the switched off. Then they may not send the information to the hypothalamus. By that way, hypothalamus may not secrete the ADH or antidiuretic hormone. By that way, in the absence of ADH, 19% of the water is gets lost through urine to the out, because already excess water is present in the person's body. Excess water have to be eliminated to the out to maintain constant water level. So that only whenever excess water is present, osmoreceptors are becomes inactive, they may not send the information to the hypothalamus. By that way, ADH is not gets secreted. By that way, 19% of the water reabsorption from the primary urine into blood is not taken place in the absence of ADH. By that way, 19% of the water is eliminated to the out through the urine. So due to any reason, if in the person's body ADH secretion is not taken place, due to any reason, if in the person's body ADH secretion is not taken place, then during every urination nothing but micturition, process of delivery of urine from the urinary bladder to out. Process of delivery of urine from the urinary bladder to out is said to be as the micturition. Definitely due to any reason, if ADH secretion is not taken place, definitely during every micturition 19% of the body water is gets lost in the form of the urine. So at this rate, a person can excrete 20 liters of urine, 20 liters of urine per day instead of 1 to 1.5 liters. Naturally, if ADH is secreted properly, if 19% of the water reabsorption from the primary urine is occurs properly, a healthy person can excrete only 1 to 1.5 liters of urine per day. But due to any reason, from the hypothalamus, if ADH is not gets secreted, antidiuretic hormone is not gets secreted properly, then in such case, this 19% of the water reabsorption from the primary urine is not occurs into the blood through the DCT and CD. By that way, during every micturition, 19% of the water is gets lost in the form of the urine. So at this rate, a person can excrete 20 liters of the urine per day instead of 1 to 1.5 liters. The disease is said to be as the diabetes insipidus. Diabetes insipidus. If over volume of the urine is excreted by the person, instead of 1 to 1.5 liters of urine, the disease is said to be as the diabetes insipidus. Definitely, in absence of ADH, over volume of the urine is excreted by the person per day, means about 20 liters of the urine is excreted by the person per day instead of 1 to 1.5 liters. The disease is said to be as the diabetes insipidus. In this disease, dehydration of body is appears. Definitely, if the body water is gets lost in the form of the urine, automatically in the body water levels are too far decreases. That is said to be as the dehydration. Dehydration is very commonly appear in this kind of the disease. This is the hypothalamus is the first part which may be regulate the kidney functioning. Definitely hypothalamus must be play a greater role in regulation of the kidney functioning by secreting ADH. Second structure which regulate the kidney functioning is juxtaglomerular apparatus. Second structure which regulate the kidney functioning is the juxtaglomerular apparatus. Juxtaglomerular apparatus. Second structure which regulate the kidney functioning is the juxtaglomerular apparatus. So at first you have to know how that juxtaglomerular apparatus formation is taken place. How that juxtaglomerular apparatus formation is taken place means, just assume this is the Bowman's capsule, this is the PCT, this is the loop of Henle, again this is the DCT. This is said to be as the, this is the loop of Henle, this is the DCT, distal convoluted tubule, this is the collecting duct. So how that kind of the juxtaglomerular apparatus formation is taken place means, just assume this is the efferent renal arteriole, but not efferent. This is the efferent renal arteriole. efferent renal arteriole. At first that maybe extends towards the DCT. This is the DCT. Later contact with wall of the DCT. Later that is written back like this. Later that is written back like this and gets divides into capillary, and later these capillaries are united and form the efferent renal arteriole. So definitely this is the efferent renal arteriole, where the efferent renal arteriole is contacted with the wall of the DCT. In that particular area, this columnar epithelial cells, generally in the entire length of the DCT, simple cuboidal epithelial cells are present, but specifically where efferent renal arteriole comes contact with the DCT wall, in that particular area, simple columnar epithelial cells are form or occurs in overcrowded state. Overcrowding means more and more. At the point where the efferent renal arteriole comes contact with the DCT, in that particular area, this columnar epithelial cells are present or appears more and more in number. More and more in number. That simple columnar epithelial cells, which are more and more in number in wall of the DCT, where efferent renal arteriole comes contact with that, is said to be as the macula densa. Macula densa. The overcrowded simple columnar epithelial cells which are present in DCT wall at the site of efferent renal arteriole contact, that simple columnar epithelial cells of the DCT is said to be as the macula densa. Similarly, in efferent renal arteriole, smooth muscles which are present, smooth muscle cells which are present, this smooth muscle cells which are present in the efferent renal arteriole at DCT contact site, these cells are gets modified into specialized cell. They are the juxtaglomerular cells. Simply they are called as the JG cells. JG cell nothing but modified smooth muscle cell of efferent renal arteriole. In efferent renal arteriole, smooth muscle cells which are present at contact of DCT, that smooth muscle cells of efferent renal arteriole are said to be as the juxtaglomerular cells. Definitely, in efferent renal arteriole, smooth muscle cells which are present at the site of contact of efferent renal arteriole to DCT, in this particular area, these smooth muscle cells are said to be as the juxtaglomerular cells or JG cell. Juxtaglomerular cells are nothing but modified smooth muscle cells of efferent renal arteriole. Macula densa nothing but overcrowded simple columnar epithelial cells of DCT. This simple columnar epithelial cells of DCT, that is the macula densa, modified smooth muscle cell of efferent renal arteriole is said to be as the juxtaglomerular cell. These two together constitute juxtaglomerular apparatus. Juxtaglomerular apparatus, that is JGA. Juxtaglomerular apparatus simply represented as JGA equal to macula densa plus JG cells. Juxtaglomerular cell juxtaglomerular cell is modified smooth muscle cell of efferent renal arteriole. Macula densa nothing but the simple columnar epithelial cells which are present in overcrowded at the site where DCT is contacted with the efferent renal arteriole. These two together constitute the JGA, that is the juxtaglomerular apparatus. Then how this kind of the JGA regulate the kidney functioning means, whenever the blood pressure is decreases in efferent renal arteriole, whenever the blood pressure is decreases in the efferent renal arteriole, what is the blood pressure of efferent renal arteriole? 60 mmHg. While the blood is passes through efferent renal arteriole, blood exerts 60 mmHg pressure on the both sides of the walls of the efferent renal arteriole. That is said to be as the blood pressure. That is nothing but blood pressure. 1 minute. Hello. Yes. Definitely, while the blood is passes through the efferent renal arteriole, what is the blood pressure which is appears means 60 mmHg. So due to any reason, if this blood pressure is decreases, otherwise volume of the blood which have to be passes through the efferent renal arteriole is decreases, then juxtaglomerular apparatus is becomes active. Whenever in efferent renal arteriole blood pressure is decreases, whenever in efferent renal arteriole this volume of the blood is decreases, definitely juxtaglomerular apparatus is becomes active, and then it operates certain mechanism to gets regulate the kidney functioning to maintain the constant glomerular filtration rate. So then what is the mechanism which is operated by this JGA whenever the blood pressure is decreases in the efferent renal arteriole, or whenever volume of the blood is decreases means whenever blood pressure drops or volume of blood decreases in efferent renal arteriole, whenever blood pressure drops or volume of blood is decreases in efferent renal arteriole, then immediately JGA becomes active. Juxtaglomerular apparatus becomes active. Immediately JG cells secrete renin or angiotensinogenase. Angiotensinogenase. Definitely, whenever the blood pressure is drops in efferent renal arteriole, then immediately juxtaglomerular apparatus becomes active. Then JG cells immediately secrete renin or angiotensinogenase. This renin immediately convert angiotensin or angiotensinogen, which is secreted by liver cells into the blood plasma. This angiotensinogen is secreted by liver cell, which is present in the liver, which is present in the blood, which is secreted from the liver. This angiotensinogen immediately converted into angiotensin 1 in the presence of the renin. Definitely renin or angiotensinogenase convert the angiotensinogen into angiotensin 1. In the presence of the renin, angiotensinogen is converted into angiotensin 1. Angiotensinogen is secreted from the liver cells into the blood. Later, angiotensin 1 is converted into angiotensin 2 in the presence of angiotensin converting enzyme. In the presence of the angiotensin converting enzyme, angiotensin converting enzyme is secreted from epithelium of lung. This is secreted from the epithelium of lung. In the presence of the angiotensin converting enzyme, this angiotensin 1 is converted into angiotensin 2. Angiotensin 2 is a strong vasoconstrictor. This angiotensin 2 immediately activates adrenal cortex. This is the adrenal gland cortex. Adrenal glands means gland which is present on the surface of the kidney is said to be as the adrenal gland. In adrenal gland outer portion is said to be as the adrenal cortex. Definitely angiotensin 2 immediately activate adrenal cortex. By that way from the adrenal cortex, aldosterone hormone is secreted. Aldosterone hormone is secreted finally. This aldosterone hormone immediately induces absorption of the NaCl from CD and DCT wall from the primary urine. Immediately aldosterone reaches to the DCT and CD wall from the primary urine through the collecting duct and distal convoluted tubule wall. It induces reabsorption of the NaCl from the primary urine into the blood. As NaCl levels in the blood of the person are increases, blood pressure gets raises. By that way, decreased blood pressure in efferent renal arteriole is returned back to normal. By that way, normal glomerular filtration rate is taken place in the person finally. Means whenever in the efferent renal arteriole this blood pressure gets decreases or volume of the blood is decreases, immediately efferent renal arteriole immediately JGA becomes active, juxtaglomerular apparatus becomes active. Immediately in juxtaglomerular apparatus, JG cells which are present, they secrete the renin or angiotensinogenase. In the presence of this renin, angiotensinogen is converted into angiotensin 1. Angiotensin 1 is converted into angiotensin 2 in the presence of the angiotensin converting enzyme. This is secreted from the epithelium of lung. This angiotensin 2 is a strong vasoconstrictor and it later activate adrenal gland cortex to secrete the aldosterone. Aldosterone later reaches to the DCT and collecting duct wall and it induces absorption of the NaCl from the primary urine through the DCT and CD wall. As NaCl levels in the blood of the person are increases, definitely decreased blood pressure in efferent renal arteriole is increases towards the normal. In that way, in this entire mechanism, first angiotensinogen is involved, renin is involved, and aldosterone gets involved. This entire system is said to be as the ROS. This entire mechanism, entire system is said to be as the ROS. R represent renin, A represent angiotensinogen, A represent aldosterone. This entire is the system. So that only this entire mechanism is simply called as the Ross mechanism. R represent renin, A represent angiotensinogen, A represent aldosterone, S represent system. This entire mechanism is said to be as the renin angiotensinogen aldosterone system. This entire mechanism is the renin angiotensinogen aldosterone system. This is the second, that is the regulation of the kidney by the juxtaglomerular apparatus.